time to talk about our third system for attention. Our third system is called the juggler. A juggler keeps multiple things floating up in the air. They catch one thing and then toss up another, and usually it's like 3 or more things that they're holding all at once, or floating all at once. I'm not much of a juggler myself, but I do have an attention juggler, and so do you. Your attention juggler knows your goal, and it knows all the things that you need to do to meet that goal. And your juggler evaluates your actions to figure out if what you are doing is going to help you meet that goal. Let's take an example. Let's imagine that I am a student in class, and before I go out for recess, which is next, I have to get my math work done. My attention juggler knows the goal. I need to finish my math work and put it in the turn-in bin. My attention juggler also knows what I need to meet the goal. I need a pencil, I need to be at my desk, I need to be quiet and have my flashlight of attention only on my work, not on anyone around me. I need to work on problems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then I need to put my work in the turn-in bin. Then the juggler looks at what I am doing. Do I have my pencil out? Am I at my desk? Am I quiet and keeping my flashlight on my math work, or am I talking to someone around me? And as it gets closer to recess, my attention juggler notices if I'm still on problem 1, which means I'm probably not going to finish my work, or if I'm on problem 5 or 6 and I'm pretty close to getting my work done. If I am not doing what I need to be doing to meet my goal, my attention juggler can help me get back on track by thinking, what's the goal? Sometimes while we're at school or while adults are at work, we have to do some things that we don't feel very excited about. Maybe some things that we don't find interesting or that we even find boring, but they are still important things that we have to get done. So in my example, if I'm a student who doesn't like math because it's just not very interesting to me, I might be thinking to myself, I don't want to do this. I would rather talk to my classmate next to me. But if I don't get my math done, then I'm going to have to do it at recess. If I don't do it right now, it's not going to make my math work go away. I would still have to do it at recess. And I love recess. I don't want to miss recess. No, that is not what I want. I want to go to recess. My goal is to be able to go to recess. So if I want to meet my goal, I need to make sure that I'm following the classroom goal and I'm getting my math work done and putting it in the turn-in bin. So I've got to get my flashlight turned on my math work so I can get this done. A juggler might catch us doing something that we're not supposed to be doing. And it might say, hey, this is not what you're supposed to be doing right now. What's the goal? And our juggler can help us get back on track if we get interrupted or distracted. We can use these 3-step questions to help us get back on track. The first question is, what am I supposed to be doing? The second question is, what do I need? And the last question is, can I get started on my own? What am I supposed to be doing? What do I need? Can I get started on my own? By asking myself these questions, I can help myself get into action. If I forget what I'm supposed to be doing, then I can think to myself, what is that goal? What is it I'm supposed to do? If I know what I'm supposed to do, but I just don't have what I need, I can ask myself so I can go and get those things. And then, can I get started? Well, if there's something getting in my way, like I'm misunderstanding or maybe something's a little tricky, then I could use my tools in the classroom and I could ask my teacher or ask a classmate. Or maybe it is tricky, but I can start it on my own. Then I can get started. So if you're in the classroom and your teacher notices that you're getting a little bit off track or a little bit distracted, then they may look at you like this. And what are they asking you to think? What am I supposed to be doing right now? They want you to think about that inside your own head so that you can get on track. When we are able to get back on track and stay focused on our goal, even when there's interruptions or distractions, that is called sustained attention. Sustained attention is really tricky because there are lots of distractions around us, and sometimes we may get a little distracted. And when that happens, that makes us lose sight of the goal. So it's important to get back on track as quickly as possible. Remember that the flashlight switching is attention switching. So if we have our flashlight focused on the goal, but then a distraction pops up, our flashlight switches there. And remember that all of this switching is actually switching our attention every time, and our brain kind of has to start over, and it really is taxing on our brain, right? It makes us feel exhausted. It can make us feel some crummy moods. It can cause us to make some mistakes, and lots of times it keeps us from getting our stuff done. So try out this 3-step questioning to help you get back on track more quickly. It can also be helpful to let the juggler know exactly what the goal is before we start something. This means that we're kind of making a plan before we get started. So I have a new example for you. If I am a student in science class and my job is to write a paragraph on butterflies, this is what the finished product would look like. Then let's think, what would I need to do to meet this goal? Well, I need to write an introduction. I need to have a few sentences in the middle, let's say 3 sentences, and I need to have a concluding sentence. That would complete my paragraph. Okay, I know the goal, I know what I need to do to meet the goal. Now I need to think, what materials do I need to make this happen? I need my notebook, I need my pencil, I also need to be at my desk spot. Now I know what materials I need, what I need to do, and then what it looks like or what the goal is to be done. That is going to help my juggler to keep me on track. Now that you have learned about our third attention system, the juggler, you can add it to your poster in class with some examples and some things that you know the juggler does. I'll share some things from my poster with you. The juggler knows the goal and what to do. It checks my behavior, it keeps me on track, and it gets me back on track if I get interrupted or distracted. Some of my examples say it stops me from talking to a friend and gets back to math. I don't want to miss recess. And it helps me think about what I need, my pencil and my notebook, to start writing. You can also add your 3 steps poster in your classroom. Next to each of these 3 steps, you could put a picture with someone from your class showing the action. So for step 1, you can show someone with their hand on their shoulder. What am I supposed to be doing right now? You can show someone with their hand on their elbow. What do I need? And you can show someone with their hand on their wrist. Can I get started on my own? Try to use those 3 steps if you notice yourself getting interrupted or distracted so that you can get your flashlight back on what needs to be in focus.